Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. Every thought you think creates an electrical signal in the brain, triggering a chemical response that influences your emotions. These emotions, in turn, shape your actions, and your repeated actions determine the results you experience in your life. This means that the reality you are living today is a direct reflection of the thoughts you have consistently entertained in the past. If you want to change your future, you must first change your mind. Most people believe that their external circumstances dictate their internal state. They think that if they achieve success, then they will feel happy. If they get the job, then they will feel secure. If they find love, then they will feel complete. But neuroscience tells us that the process works in reverse. You must first embody the emotional state of success, security, or fulfillment before those experiences can manifest in your life. This is because your brain does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. If you repeatedly focus on a vision of your future self, feeling the emotions of already having achieved it, your brain begins to rewire itself as if that reality is already true. The problem is that most people are unaware of the habitual thoughts running through their minds. Research suggests that 95% of the thoughts we think today are the same as the ones we thought yesterday. If most of those thoughts are rooted in fear, doubt, or limitation, they reinforce a cycle of negativity. People wake up thinking about their problems, feeling the emotions of past failures, and projecting those same emotions into the future. This keeps them stuck in a loop where the past becomes their future. To break free, one must become conscious of these patterns and intentionally redirect their focus toward new, empowering thoughts. Science has shown that neurons that fire together wire together. When you repeatedly think and feel in a certain way, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with those experiences. This means that if you continuously focus on stress, you train your brain to be wired for stress. If you constantly think about what is missing in your life, you reinforce a state of lack. However, if you deliberately cultivate thoughts of gratitude, success, and joy, your brain begins to restructure itself to support those emotional states. Over time, this becomes your new default mode of thinking and being. Winning in life is not about external circumstances. It is about mastering the inner environment of your mind. If you want to attract abundance, you must think abundant thoughts. If you want to be confident, you must practice thinking and feeling confident. By choosing thoughts that align with your desired future, you activate the brain's ability to rewire itself and create a new reality. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny, and when you take control of your mind, you take control of your life. Every person carries a mental blueprint, a deeply ingrained pattern of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that define who they are. This pattern is not accidental. It is a result of years of conditioning, repeated experiences, and subconscious programming. From childhood, we are shaped by our environment, our family, our culture, and the experiences that have reinforced certain ways of thinking and being. Over time, these patterns become so deeply embedded that they feel like an unchangeable part of who we are. But what if they aren't? What if the person you believe yourself to be is simply a collection of habitual thoughts and emotions? And what if you could break free from that conditioning and become someone entirely new? The challenge is that most people wake up every day and repeat the same routine. They think the same thoughts, which trigger the same emotions, which lead to the same behaviors and ultimately the same results. This cycle becomes a loop, reinforcing the identity they have always known. Even when people desire change, they often struggle because their subconscious mind is, they might say they want to be confident, successful, or healthy, but if their internal programming is wired for self-doubt, struggle, or stress, they will unconsciously sabotage their progress to maintain the identity they are accustomed to. To truly change, one must break the habit of being themselves. This means stepping beyond the familiar, predictable patterns of thought and emotion that have shaped their past. It requires becoming aware of the unconscious programs running in the backgrounds, those automatic negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, and emotional reactions that keep them stuck. The moment they observe these patterns without immediately acting on them, they gain power over them. Instead of being controlled by their past, they can choose a new way of thinking and feeling. But breaking the habit of being yourself is not just about stopping old patterns, it is about actively creating new ones. The brain is neuroplastic, meaning it has the ability to change and rewire itself based on new experiences and focused intention. When a person consistently introduces new thoughts, visualizes new possibilities, and embraces new emotions, they are literally reshaping their brain. They are no longer just reacting to life based on past conditioning. They are intentionally designing a new version of themselves. This process requires discomfort because stepping into the unknown always feels uncertain. The old self will resist, pulling the person back into familiar habits. Fear, doubt, and discomfort will arise because the mind is wired for survival, preferring what is known over what is new. But if one persists, if they commit to thinking, feeling, and acting as their future self before the evidence appears, they will start to break free. Over time, these new patterns will become second nature, and the person they once were will feel like a distant memory. They will no longer be defined by their past. Instead, they will be creating their future. The human brain is an extraordinary organ, capable of adapting, evolving, and rewiring itself based on experience and focused intention. This ability, known as neuroplasticity, means that who you are today is not fixed. You have the power to reshape your mind, change your habits, and create a new version of yourself. Most people, however, live under the illusion that their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are set in stone. They believe their personality, habits, and reactions are permanent, but in reality, they are just well-rehearsed neural patterns. The brain does not care whether these patterns are beneficial or harmful. It simply strengthens whatever is repeated. This means that if a person constantly experiences stress, worry, or self-doubt, their brain reinforces those states, making them feel automatic and inescapable. The key to transformation is understanding that every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every action you take either strengthens an old neural pathway or creates a new one. If you want to change your life, you must begin by rewiring your brain with new patterns that align with the person you want to become. This process begins with awareness. Most people operate on autopilot, unaware of the subconscious programs running their lives. They wake up thinking about their problems, feeling the emotions of the past, and behaving in ways that keep them stuck in familiar cycles. But the moment they become conscious of their habitual thoughts and reactions, they gain the power to change them. Rewiring the brain is not about suppressing old thoughts, but rather replacing them with new, empowering ones. This is done through repetition and emotional intensity. When you consistently focus on thoughts of confidence, success, and abundance, your brain begins to build new neural connections that support those experiences. But thoughts alone are not enough. They must be paired with elevated emotions. When you deeply feel the emotions of gratitude, joy, and accomplishment, as if your desired future has already happened, your brain begins to rewire itself to match that reality. The process of rewiring the brain also requires taking action in alignment with your new identity. If you want to be confident, you must practice thinking, feeling, and acting like a confident person. If you want to be abundant, you must think and behave in ways that reflect abundance. Over time, as these thoughts, emotions, and actions are reinforced, they become second nature. The old neural pathways weaken and the new ones become the default. This is how transformation occurs. Not by waiting for external circumstances to change, but by changing the internal patterns that shape your perception of reality. Every moment is an opportunity to reshape your brain and redefine your future. The past does not have to dictate who you are today. With focused intention, emotional commitment, and repeated practice, you can break free from old patterns and create a mind that aligns with the life you truly desire. The power to change is already within you. You simply have to choose to use it. Limiting beliefs are the invisible barriers that shape a person's reality, often without them even realizing it. These beliefs are formed over time, usually as a result of past experiences, societal conditioning, and repeated thoughts that become ingrained in the subconscious mind. They create mental and emotional boundaries that dictate what a person believes is possible for them. If someone has experienced failure in the past, they may develop the belief that they are not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable of success. If they have grown up in an environment where money was always a struggle, they may subconsciously believe that financial abundance is out of reach. These beliefs act as filters, shaping the way people interpret the world and reinforcing the same patterns over and over again. The challenge with limiting beliefs is that they operate beneath the surface of conscious awareness. A person might consciously want success, love, or happiness, but if their subconscious mind is wired with beliefs that contradict those desires, they will find themselves stuck in self-sabotage, procrastination, or fear. The mind is designed to seek consistency between what it believes and what it experiences. If a person has a deep-rooted belief that they are unworthy, their brain will unconsciously create circumstances to prove that belief true, even if it means rejecting opportunities or staying in toxic situations. This is why many people feel trapped in cycles of failure, disappointment, or stagnation, because their subconscious programming is stronger than their conscious desire. Breaking free from limiting beliefs requires awareness and deliberate effort. The first step is recognizing the beliefs that have been shaping one's life. This can be done by paying attention to recurring thoughts, emotional triggers, and patterns of behavior. Any thought that begins with "I can't," "I'm not," or "I never" is likely a sign of a limiting belief. Once identified, the next step is questioning the validity of these beliefs. Where did they come from? Are they based on facts, or are they just assumptions reinforced by past experiences? When a person realizes that beliefs are not absolute truths, but rather mental constructs, they gain the power to change them. Replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones requires repetition and emotional engagement. The brain learns through repetition, meaning that new positive beliefs must be reinforced consistently. Affirmations, visualization, and mental rehearsal are powerful tools for reprogramming the subconscious mind. By repeatedly focusing on new empowering beliefs and aligning emotions with them, a person begins to shift their identity. Instead of seeing themselves as someone who struggles, they begin to see themselves as someone who overcomes challenges. Instead of believing that success is for others, they start believing that they are capable of achieving it. The true transformation happens when a person no longer operates from their past limitations, but from the unlimited potential of who they can become. When they free themselves from old mental conditioning, they step into a new reality where their thoughts, emotions, and actions align with their highest vision of themselves. The only limits that exist are the ones the mind accepts. And when those limits are broken, anything becomes possible. Now, the universe operates on a field of infinite possibilities where every potential outcome already exists. This field, often referred to as the quantum field, is not bound by linear time or physical constraints. It responds to energy, intention, and consciousness. Everything that has ever been created, from groundbreaking inventions to personal transformations, first existed as a thought, an idea, or a possibility in someone's mind before it became a reality. This means that every version of your future, the successful, confident, abundant version of yourself, already exists as a potential. The question is, which version are you tuning into? Most people live in a state of cause and effect. They react to their environment, waiting for external circumstances to change before they allow themselves to think or feel differently. They believe that once they achieve success, then they will feel worthy. Once they find love, then they will feel complete. Once they have financial security, then they will feel abundant. But this approach is backwards. The quantum field does not respond to what we want, it responds to who we are. It reflects back to us the energy we consistently embody. If a person continually focuses on lack, fear, or doubt, they are tuning into a reality that mirrors those emotions. If they instead align their thoughts and emotions with the outcome they desire, they draw that reality closer to them. This is not just philosophy, it is grounded in science. Studies in quantum physics have shown that observation influences reality. In experiments, subatomic particles behave differently depending on whether or not they are being observed, suggesting that consciousness plays a direct role in shaping the physical world. This means that where you place your attention and how you emotionally invest in that attention has a direct effect on the reality you experience. When you consistently focus on a vision of your future with elevated emotions such as gratitude, excitement, and certainty, you are energetically aligning with that future, making it more probable. The key is to stop seeing your desired future as something distant and start embodying it as if it has already happened. This is where most people struggle. They may visualize success, but deep down they still feel doubt, unworthiness, or fear. The quantum field does not respond to empty thoughts. It responds to deeply felt emotions. If you want to experience abundance, you must not only think about it, you must feel abundant now. If you want to be healthy, you must not only wish for it, you must feel the emotions of vitality as if you already have it. When you consistently align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desired future, you collapse the distance between where you are and where you want to be. Reality is not fixed. It is a reflection of consciousness. The moment you stop waiting for external circumstances to change and instead become the version of yourself who already has what you desire, the universe begins to rearrange itself to match your new state of being. Possibilities are infinite. The only question is which one you are choosing to embody. The mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. Every time you think about a desired future and deeply feel the emotions associated with it, your brain and body begin to experience that future as if it is happening in the present moment. This is because thoughts produce electrical signals in the brain and emotions produce chemical reactions in the body. When the mind and body align in a coherent state of belief, you begin to send a powerful signal into the quantum field, attracting experiences that match your new state of being. Most people, however, live in a state of waiting. They wait for external circumstances to change before they give themselves permission to think and feel differently. They tell themselves that once they have financial abundance, then they will feel secure. Once they find the right relationship, then they will feel love. Once they achieve success, then they will feel confident. But this conditional way of thinking keeps them stuck because they are basing their emotions on a reality that has not yet changed. They are reaffirming their current circumstances instead of creating new ones. The truth is, in order to bring a new future into existence, you must first embody it emotionally, mentally, and energetically before it physically appears. This is the process of becoming. When you think, feel, and act as if your desired future is already here, you begin to rewire your brain and body for that reality. Neural pathways start to shift, strengthening the circuits that support your new identity. Your body, which has been conditioned to react to the past, begins to embrace the emotions of your future self. The more you practice this state of being, the more familiar it becomes. Eventually, this new identity no longer feels like something you are trying to create. It becomes who you are. This is not just about positive thinking. It is about aligning your entire state of being with your vision. The more you live in the energy of your desired future, the more you send a clear signal to the quantum field. The universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you are being. If you consistently embody the feelings of success, abundance, love, or confidence, you are no longer separate from your desired reality. You are merging with it. The challenge for most people is maintaining this elevated state of being in the face of external circumstances. When old patterns arise, fear and doubt try to pull them back into familiar ways of thinking and feeling. But if they persist, they remain greater than their environment and consistently choose thoughts and emotions that align with their future, they begin to see tangible changes. Doors open, opportunities arise, and synchronicities appear that move them toward their vision. The future is not something you wait for, it is something you create. The moment you decide to stop living based on your past and start living as if your desired reality is already here, you step into the greatest truth. You are the creator of your life, and your future is yours to shape. At the end, you win, not because of luck, not because of external circumstances, but because you have mastered the one thing that shapes your reality, your mind. You have learned that your thoughts create your future, that you are not bound by your past, and that you have the power to rewire your brain and reprogram your beliefs. You now understand that reality is not something that happens to you. It is something you generate through your emotions, your focus, and your state of being. The old self, conditioned by past experiences, no longer defines you. You have broken free from the subconscious patterns that kept you stuck. You no longer wait for success, love, or abundance to appear before you feel worthy of them. Instead, you embody those emotions now, knowing that the universe responds not to what you want, but to